Chapter 1: Echoes of Departure. Samantha stared out the rain-streaked window of the departing train, her heart heavy with the knowledge that each passing mile took her further from Christopher. The rhythmic drumming of raindrops against the glass seemed to echo the pangs of separation in her chest. She glanced back one last time at the platform, where Christopher stood, his silhouette blurred by the falling rain, yet his longing gaze piercing through the mist of tears. Christopher remained rooted to the spot long after Samantha's train had vanished from view. The rain, relentless in its descent, mirrored the storm raging within him. Each droplet that splattered against the platform echoed the ache in his heart, amplifying the emptiness left by Samantha's departure. He closed his eyes, willing himself to hold on to the memory of her warmth amidst the cold embrace of the rain. Chapter 2: Memories in the Mist. As Samantha settled into her seat on the train, memories of her time with Christopher flooded her mind like the gentle mist that enveloped the countryside outside. She traced the contours of their shared moments, the laughter shared over cups of steaming coffee in a cozy cafe, the tender touch of Christopher's hand against her cheek as they danced in the rain. Each memory was a beacon of light in the dreary expanse of her journey, guiding her back to the warmth of their love. Meanwhile, Christopher roamed the rain-drenched streets of their hometown, his steps guided by the familiar paths of their past. He retraced their footsteps, pausing at each corner where they had shared stolen kisses and whispered promises. The rain, once a harbinger of sorrow, now became a vessel for their memories, preserving their love in the glistening sheen of rain-kissed streets. Chapter 3: Letters in the Rain. In the quiet solitude of her train compartment, Samantha poured her heart onto paper, penning a letter to Christopher with each stroke of her trembling hand. The ink bled onto the page, carrying with it the weight of her longing and the fervor of her love. Each word was a testament to the depth of her emotions, a lifeline connecting her to Christopher across the vast expanse of distance. Meanwhile, Christopher sought refuge beneath the shelter of a towering oak tree, his umbrella offering scant protection against the deluge. With trembling fingers, he unfolded Samantha's letter, his breath catching in his throat as he traced the familiar curves of her handwriting. Each word was a symphony of emotion, resonating with the echoes of his own heartache. Tears mingled with raindrops as he drank in her words, finding solace in the knowledge that their love transcended even the fiercest of storms. Chapter 4: Solitude and the Storm. Alone in the midst of a rain-soaked park, Samantha found herself enveloped by the quiet beauty of nature's embrace. The raindrops fell like whispered confessions, each one a secret shared between sky and earth. With each step she took, she felt the weight of her solitude lift, replaced by a sense of peace born from the realization that she was never truly alone, not as long as Christopher held her heart. Meanwhile, Christopher sought refuge amidst the hushed aisles of the town library, the scent of old books mingling with the earthy fragrance of rain. Surrounded by the echoes of countless stories, he allowed himself to be swept away by the currents of his thoughts, each one a tributary leading back to Samantha. In the quiet sanctuary of the library, he found sanctuary from the tempest raging within him, losing himself in the rhythm of his own heartbeat. Chapter 5: Dreams in the Downpour. Night fell like a heavy curtain, shrouding the world in darkness as Samantha surrendered to the embrace of sleep. In the realm of dreams, she found herself reunited with Christopher, their love a beacon of light amidst the storm. Together, they danced beneath the rain-soaked sky, each step a testament to the unbreakable bond that tethered their hearts together. And as the first light of dawn pierced the horizon, she awoke with his name on her lips, her heart overflowing with the echoes of their shared dream. Meanwhile, Christopher lay awake in the dim glow of his bedroom, the patter of rain against the window a lullaby that failed to soothe his restless thoughts. With each passing hour, he drifted further into the recesses of his mind, where Samantha awaited him, her presence a balm to his weary soul. In the ethereal landscape of his dreams, He reached out to her, his touch a promise that echoed across the expanse of their separation. If you have gotten this far, subscribe and like. Chapter 6, Echoes Across a Distance. Across miles of rain-soaked terrain, Samantha and Christopher found solace in the sound of each other's voices. Through crackling phone lines and whispered words, they bridged the vast expanse of distance, their connection unyielding against the tide of time. With each shared moment, they wove a tapestry of love that stretched from horizon to horizon, binding them together in a bond that defied the constraints of space. Meanwhile, Christopher poured his heart into a song, his fingers dancing across the strings of his guitar as melodies took flight on wings of rain. With each chord, he infused the music with the echoes of his longing, the rhythm of his heartbeat a symphony of devotion. And as the final notes faded into the night, he sent the song winging its way to Samantha, a whispered promise carried on the breath of the wind. Chapter 7, Wanderlust in the Wetlands. In the heart of a rain-drenched forest, Samantha wandered amidst a tapestry of green, the scent of earth and foliage a balm to her restless soul. With each step she took, she felt herself drawn deeper into the embrace of nature, her senses alive with the symphony of life that thrived in the midst of the storm. And as she gazed up at the canopy overhead, she felt a sense of kinship with the rain-soaked leaves that whispered secrets to the wind. Meanwhile, Christopher stood upon the shores of a turbulent sea, the salt-laden breeze carrying the echoes of distant shores. With each crash of the waves against the rocky shore, he felt the weight of the world lift from his shoulders, replaced by a sense of wonder that mirrored the vast expanse of the ocean before him. And as he cast his gaze out across the horizon, he felt the pull of adventure tugging at his heart, beckoning him to chart a course for unknown shores. Chapter 8, Tempest of Emotions. In the heart of the storm, Samantha grappled with the tumult of her emotions, each gust of wind a mirror to the tempest raging within her soul. Amidst the chaos of rain and thunder, she sought refuge in the sanctuary of her own thoughts, where memories of Christopher burned bright against the darkness. And as she weathered the storm, she found strength in the knowledge that their love was a beacon that would guide her safely home. Meanwhile, Christopher stood amidst the wreckage of his own emotions, the fury of the storm a reflection of the turmoil roiling within him. With each flash of lightning and crash of thunder, he felt the walls around his heart crumbling, leaving him exposed to the raw power of his longing. And as he faced the fury of the elements, he found solace in the knowledge that Samantha's love was a shelter that would weather any storm. Chapter 9, Respite in the Rain. Amidst the hustle and bustle of a quaint cafe, Samantha found respite from the storm that raged outside. With each sip of tea, she savored the warmth that spread through her veins, chasing away the chill of the rain. And as she gazed out at the world beyond the window, she felt a sense of peace settle over her, knowing that Christopher was with her in spirit, if not in person. Meanwhile, Christopher sought solace in the quiet solitude of a rooftop garden, the patter of raindrops against the leaves a soothing symphony that calmed his restless thoughts. With each breath of fresh air, he felt the weight of his worries lift from his shoulders, replaced by a sense of serenity that mirrored the tranquility of the garden. And as he looked out at the world below, he knew that Samantha was out there, somewhere, waiting for him to come home. Chapter 10, Longing in the Lamplight. Alone in the dim glow of her bedroom, Samantha found herself drawn to the window, where the rain danced in the soft light of the street lamp. With each droplet that streaked down the glass, she felt her longing for Christopher deepen, a yearning that echoed in the hollow chambers of her heart. And as she traced the patterns of rain with her fingertips, she whispered his name into the night, her voice a plaintive melody that soared on the wings of the wind. Meanwhile, Christopher sat alone in the glow of a single candle, its flickering flame casting shadows that danced upon the walls. With each passing moment, he felt the weight of Samantha's absence pressing down upon him, a burden that threatened to consume him whole. And as he watched the flame waver in the stillness of the night, he felt a spark of hope ignite within him, a beacon that guided him through the darkness back to her waiting arms. Chapter 11, Melodies in the Mist. In the quiet hours of the night, Samantha sat at the piano, her fingers dancing across the keys in a delicate dance that echoed the gentle patter of rain outside. With each chord she struck, she poured her longing into the music, weaving a melody that soared on the wings of her love for Christopher. And as the notes hung in the air, she closed her eyes and allowed herself to be swept away by the symphony of her own creation. Meanwhile, Christopher lay in bed, his headphones cradling his ears as he listened to the soft strains of music that filled the room. With each note that washed over him, he felt the walls around his heart crumble, leaving him exposed to the raw emotion that pulsed beneath his skin. And as he surrendered to the melody, he felt the distance between himself and Samantha melt away, until they were united once more in the timeless embrace of their shared love. Chapter 12, Echoes of Reunion. Under the canopy of a rain-soaked sky, Samantha and Christopher found themselves reunited at last. With each step they took towards each other, the distance that had separated them for so long fell away, until they were wrapped in each other's arms once more. And as they stood together in the midst of the storm, they felt the echoes of their love reverberate through the air, a symphony of joy that drowned out the roar of the tempest. Chapter 13, Promises and the Pouring Rain. In the heart of the storm, Samantha and Christopher made promises to each other, their voices rising above the roar of the rain as they pledged their love anew. With each vow they spoke, they felt the bonds that held them together grow stronger, until nothing could ever tear them apart. And as they sealed their promises with a kiss, they knew that their love would endure, a beacon of light that would guide them through even the darkest of nights. Chapter 14, Reflections in the Raindrops. As the rain continued to fall, Samantha and Christopher walked hand in hand through the storm, their reflections shimmering in the puddles that dotted the ground. With each step they took, they reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment, grateful for the love that had weathered every trial and tribulation. And as they looked towards the future, they knew that their love would continue to shine bright, even in the darkest of times. Chapter 15, Sunshine After the Rain. As the storm clouds finally parted, Samantha and Christopher emerged into the warm embrace of the sun, their faces turned towards the promise of a new day. With each ray of light that bathed their skin, they felt the weight of their worries lift, replaced by a sense of hope that filled their hearts to overflowing. And as they stood together beneath the azure sky, they knew that their love would endure, a testament to the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. And there you have it, Whispers in the Rain, a love story of separation,